DOTE.
Welcome to the video tutorial about how to upgrade to DOTE Pro. And you may have purchased a license to upgrade and get the premium features of DOTE, or you may have ordered a license through a university. Either way, you have to apply this license, and I'll say a number of things about how this works and any problems that might occur in this tutorial. And here we see the web shop where we get some idea of the free version you can download, and then purchase prices for the DOTE Pro and the DOTE Pro community, as well as ordering a DOTE AAU. The key thing is that licenses are attached to email addresses. So if you wish to get the DOTE AAU license, you're going to have an email address within the university. So please don't try that, and if you don't, it just won't work. And so every one email address can have one license. You can't have multiple licenses on one email address. So that's our means of authentication. First thing you need to do, of course, is install DOTE. So download it here, and then if you go to the help guide, you'll see how to download and install DOTE and how to set it up. And there we have a video for how to do that. So we're not going to go through that in this video. So what you need to do is either purchase or order, and then you'll be sent an email attached with your information, and as well as a receipt if it's appropriate for purchasing. And in that it will give you a license serial key. And that license key you should keep. It is very important, and don't share it. If by any chance you happen to lose that, you can always go to recover license here, and if you click recover license, you can add the email address for the license owner that was used to purchase that license, and if you say send license, it will send it to that email address. So that's one way to recover the license if you are the license owner and you still have that email address. If you no longer have access to that email address, then you'll have to contact us by email and explain your situation. And more about that on the help guide. And then in the help guide, not only how to install, but here under the DOTE versus DOTE Pro versus DOTE Pro Community editions, there is, and this is all linked when you purchase or order and receive an email, it'll give you a link to this, how to install the DOTE Pro license, and that's what I'm going to show you now. Okay, so what you need to do, if I just show you DOTE, here we have DOTE with the Lego demo project. It's been installed. It's unlicensed. If you look here in the top bar, you can see DOTE unlicensed, and that means it's the free edition, which means it's restricted in a number of ways about how many lines of transcript and what I can export, and how many media can be active. A number of things are turned off, the premium features. So if I want those, and I've got a license key and I've downloaded it somewhere on my computer, I need to go to Help and then License Manager. I click License Manager, you'll see it's blank because there is no license, it's unlicensed. So it's a free version. And what I'm going to show you is I'm going to import a valid key, and we'll see what happens, and then also some keys where it's not going to work. So a license key from File, if I click that, it turns out I've got 3 license keys here. I'm going to choose this one, which works, and then say Open, and when I open, it should add a very, very long list of numbers which carry on down, which is a hash code. And that's specifically set up for this email address and my name and whatever information was entered. And this needs to be activated. And once it's activated once, it doesn't need to be activated again. So if I press activate, it'll contact our license server. It says DOTE Pro edition. It's registered to me, and I have 2 out of 3 licenses have been used. So this must be the second one. And then that's it. That's all I've done. Now it says up here, license to Paul McElvenney, and it's all ready to go. So I've activated. Now what I'm going to do is release that license, which means it's no longer, if I release it, it's now unlicensed again. And I'm going to clear that license. So now, if for example, I went away from this machine and somebody else was going to use it, then they would have to add their license key, for example. and you may buy a new license key, an upgrade, for example, from DOTE Pro to DOTE Pro Community, or in a future release, version 2.0, you may need to upgrade price for that new release, and therefore add the new license here, because otherwise you'll be continuing only using the version 1. So let's try again now, but this time I'm going to take this license, which has it's maxed out. So I add the key, and there's the key, and I activate, and it says you've actually activated the maximum number of devices allowed. So that means I've used all 3 devices that I'm allowed with 1 license, and therefore to activate this device I've got to go to one of the other devices and then release those. And that's up to you to keep track of which devices are currently activated. If it turns out that you had 3 different computers and they've all been destroyed or lost, an unusual situation, then you'll have to contact us by email to explain your situation. And we have in our license database, we have a record of these things, so we'll have to work that out. So if I close that, you'll see it's still unlicensed. So I'll clear that license key, and I'll add a license key, and I'm going to choose fail. This one's going to fail. So we add it, it's a license key, and I activate. It says it's not recognized. So here's the email address that you can contact if this happens and you do expect it to be a valid one, and then we can see and sort that out. And so if you just try and enter in any old numbers, it's just not going to, or letters, it's not going to work, and so you'll just get this error repeatedly. But if it's the one you've just purchased and then you definitely have the right key and it's not working, then contact us. So I'll close that and I'll clear it, and I'll go back again and choose this one which worked, and then activate it, and you see it's activated again. So I released it. When I released it, it went down to 1 of license. Now I've activated it again, it's gone back up to 2. So it recognizes this device as being a valid device, and that's 2 of the licenses. If I go to another computer which doesn't have DOTE Pro Edition installed, then it will allow me to have the 3rd of those slots, license slots. Okay, and you can always tell looking at the top who it's licensed to. It will give the name attached to the license, and not the email. Okay, so that's pretty much how you can apply and activate your license, and how it could go wrong. There are other ways in which it could go wrong. It could be that you have upgraded and therefore it says this license key is no longer valid. You need to download the newer license key, because every time a change is made to your license, then there's a new license key. So you need to download that. Okay, if there's any problems which are definitely unexpected, then you could contact us by email. But if it's because you're trying to break into the system, then please don't contact us, and I think it would be quite fruitless to try to do so. So that's the video on how to apply the license using the license manager for DOTE after you've purchased or ordered such a license. And that's all for this video.